All right, well, I do believe we are live. Let me just turn this down and to make sure everything's turned down so I'm not echoing and feedbacking and doing all those things. Welcome, everybody. Thank you for tuning in this week to the weekly BrYangle report. Please, if you're watching, let me know if the sound and everything is working. We've got a bit of a different setup. It's kind of dark in here, too. Hopefully that's working. All right. Hey, Michael Drew Karsh is watching. Thank you so much, sir. Bryan is in the building. Thank you, sir, for being here. All right, so this is going to be a good show. This is going to be a fun show because of a bunch of reasons. First of all, I've got probably the biggest news that I might ever announce on this show. But that's going to be in the What's New, so I'm going to get to that in a few minutes. First, though, I want to welcome everybody to watching. I am Bryan Weiss. This is Henry's Newmarket, where we're broadcasting from. Currently on the Weekly BrYangle Report YouTube channel. And it's going to be a fun show. The October Rust Challenge was something that I had a lot of fun thinking about, and I had a photo in mind to do, but guys, I am swamped. I've got a lot of stuff going on right now. So I didn't get to my photo. I apologize, but I got a lot of good photos to go through. Thank you to everybody who submitted. Bryan, thank you. And thank you to everybody who tunes into the show. It's been a lot of fun doing the show, and there's some really cool things coming, and I just want to thank everybody for being a part of this little fun challenge. All right, before I go too long in the tooth, I'm going to get to our DigiKnow, because this is a kind of a really good DigiKnow. It's a very timely one for this time of year as well. First of all, when you're shooting film, your film is light sensitive and you have its own properties, but for digital photography, digital sensors actually read more red than you would think they do. And because of that, if you're shooting October rust or any kind of rust colors or red tones or sunsets, it could really easily blow out your highlights because you have so much red sensors on your digital sensor. So here's the tip for you. Try underexposing those types of photos. Just a little bit, don't go too crazy. About a third of a stop is all you really need to worry about. And by doing that, you're actually going to give yourself a little bit more richness and tone and a little more depth to your photos. You might notice that immediately when you start shooting these kinds of things. So if you're shooting anything with a lot of sun, outside, rust colors, red tones, sunsets, where there's a lot of warmth and red to your photo, if you find that your reds are hard to control, underexpose by about a third of a stop, and that'll make a big difference to help you bring out the texture and the warmth in your photos. All right, let's just see if anything is being said here. Great shirt, thank you, Mike. Alexia Nicole, the Bionic Woman. She is probably the top female wrestling photographer in Ontario right now, except for Jody Threat, but y'all don't need to know about that. She's in TNA. All right, get me talking about wrestling and I'll just keep going. It's like a thing. All right, so I'm gonna get into what's new and used. And I'm gonna start off with what's new, and I'm gonna share my screen here for you guys so you can see there's a couple things that I do want to share about some cameras that are just announced. So first off, I mentioned this little guy here a little while ago on the show, the Canon ELPH 360 HS. Finally, folks, the point and shoots are coming back. And this is a big thing because we were just talking about it earlier today. In the time that they've stopped making these, I think in our store alone, how many did I say it was, Steve? 10,950 people have come in and asked for these cameras. Yeah, we figure about 4 to 5 a day, every day for the past 5 years, right? So finally, that's a lot of people, 10,950 on average, looking for the compact point and shoot cameras. So the ELPH 360, it's got a nice 12 times zoom, super compact, pocket size, 20.2 megapixels on a little compact camera. It's a solid option for people. We're taking pre-orders. It's $499, $500, something to think about. Now, something a little different, the new Fuji. It's the X-T30 version 3. They're always coming out with new ones, and that's what the 3 means. It's the third version in the X-T30 series. It comes with a 13 to 33 millimeter lens. Weirdest lens configuration I've ever heard of. 13 to 33 millimeter f3.5 to 6.3. You can see it on the screen right there. Nice little camera, very compact, about $1,450 it's selling for. Fuji is knocking it out of the park right now with their digital sensor technology. When I mentioned on my DigiKnow this week about the reds, Well, Fuji actually has 3 times more greens than anybody. They do this for better flesh tones and better, street photography in general. So the color you get from a Fuji is a bit different than other cameras, and there's a big reason for that. So good things to know. There's always more things to know. There's tons of new cameras and new products coming in the world all the time. Starting next week, we're probably going to be getting into that a little bit more. And I'm very excited about that because I love gear. Gear is fun. All right, let's go back to me. What was that? Here we go. Resizing these things isn't always the easiest when I'm trying to bring screens back in. And there we go. I think I'm almost here for you guys. I'm here. All right, let's get to the next topic of conversation, which is the big news. So apparently, this little show that we've been doing has caught the attention of some people at Henry's. And first, as you know, we did this on Facebook, which had a limiting effect. A lot of people don't like using Facebook, and we didn't have as many people as I think we could have on Facebook. So I moved it over to the YouTube channel. So that went well. I think it's easier to watch. Let's just see if anybody has any comments on that, if it's easier to watch or if anything like that. I hope you all like the YouTube thing. Because as of next week, the little show that could is going to be on the Henry's YouTube channel itself. So the 20,000 plus subscribers to the Henry's YouTube channel are now watching as of next week. And I'm pretty stoked about that. A little nervous, but extremely excited because I think the show has a lot of important benefits. I think it really helps people open their eyes a little bit more. It's very, logical and factual, and I hope to stay that way. We talk about good gear. We talk about things that people need to know, but it's not about pushing things on you, and that's going to stay the same. We want to make sure that the show is for the people and everybody's behind it and really enjoying what we're talking about. So keep in mind, you're going to have to subscribe to one new YouTube channel from now on, Henry's Camera. Check it out, Henry's on YouTube, and you're going to see the weekly BrYangle report every Wednesday live at 5, staying the same, but in a bigger scale. So thank you to everybody who's watched. Thank you, Bryan. Appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you. Very excited for that. But now we've got some photos to talk about. Oh no, we've got used. We got used. Before I do that, yes, Aurora. Oh, this is why Aurora is the best. Okay, the calendar and the used. We got some cool used stuff. You guys know about the calendar. This is the Tiggy Jones calendar. I think this is so cute. This is from our customer, Holly Latimer. She gave us this calendar at the beginning of the year, and I've kind of made it a thing that every month I'm going to flip the calendar and show you the next picture. I can't wait to show you this month's picture because I love it. So again, as a reminder, here's the current October photo. Holly is so talented. I love what she does. And here is the next picture. Spaghetti cat. Absolutely love it. So Holly, thank you so much again for the Tiggy Jones calendar. This is going to be up right here in the Nook, which is what we call our studio here in Newmarket, all month. All right, thank you. All right, and as far as what's used goes, now we do have, I mentioned Fuji stuff to you before, and we've got some really cool Fuji lenses to talk about. I'm going to start with this one actually, 55 to 200. Nice telephoto. Now, one thing about Fuji is even their general lenses are still metal back, really, really nice quality, heavy, solid little lens, aperture controls and so on. $649. That comes with the box. For this guy, it's a 55 to 200. Nice telephoto, usable range telephoto lens. And again, all of our used stuff has a 90-day warranty, and you can still add 3 years to that. So for $650, you're getting a really nice telephoto from Fuji. Talking about really nice, the 16 to 55 f2.8. Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous lens. Let's see if we can get that. There we go. Focus a little bit better for you. A 2.8 aperture lens like this is great for astrophotography, for indoor action, concerts, parties, walking around, street photography, so many things. It's a really nice wide field of view, but with that 2.8 aperture, it gives such shallow depth of field, amazing control of telling your story through where your focus is located. And for $900, solid choice. Good lens. And I got some Sony stuff because there always has to be a little bit of Sony. Very popular camera. This is the A7 III body. So full frame, awesome camera. The current version is the A7 IV, so there's really not much newer. And then you have a nice 28 to 70 kit lens that you can put in with that. These two combine for $2,000, and you get a nice full frame, excellent video, excellent photo, Sony mirrorless camera with the 90-day warranty with the option for 3 more years. Good stuff. And again, I just want to thank Aurora because I was a little tied up today, and Aurora came in and saved the day and helped me put my notes together for the show and got me some new stuff to talk about. So thank you very much. All right. Let's see if anybody's making any comments. Oh, Mike says, so well earned. Thank you, sir. Nancy Blake is watching. Congratulations. Thank you. Prefer this place. You're more clear with voice, etc. Congratulations. I guess that's YouTube. Thank you. Amazing. Thanks, Ann. Debbie Boyer says, congratulations. Thank you. Is there a web link to the new YouTube for next week? If you go to the Henry's Newmarket location page on the Henry's website, there's a direct link to our show right from there. That'll be updated automatically when we go over to the Henry's YouTube channel. Currently, it's on this YouTube channel. So you always have to just go to Henry's webpage, store locator, Newmarket, and you'll find our link. You're not getting instant refocus on the close-ups. Yeah, I know, I have to keep on pressing things. I don't know if I'm on video mode here. I am on video mode. I've changed things. I shoot pro wrestling, guys. This is my camera I'm using. Things change. So we'll have to just keep on waking it up every once in a while. Maybe Aurora can just monitor that for me. Thanks. All right, if I put it on the right focus mode, it would track, and it has done it so well in the past. I'm just tied up with so many things. All right, very exciting. We have some photos to talk about. Now, I'm going to do these 2 ways. I've got the photos here on the screen that I'm going to change for Bryan. In fact, I'm going to give the remote to Aurora, and she can do that. There you go. Producer. I actually have a producer, guys. And I'm going to flip over and show you all the actual photos here in just a second. So I'm very excited about this changeover. I think it's going to go very well. I hope so. I would love if you guys really enjoy the show, maybe you can send a quick email to head office and let them know you enjoy the show, because that would definitely give them a little bit of confidence and let them, for what we're doing here. Things like that, I think, go a long way. All right, guys. So I have got this open here. I'm going to make my screen a bit smaller so you can see me too. There we go. And Aurora's getting that flipped over. Perfect. You all set? Just about? All right. So here are, guys, October Rust photos. So first of all, this is from, let's go back. We're on that one, so we'll go there. Cool. Here is a photo from Mr. Michael Drukarsh. All right, so Mike, you said look up is your comment that you had for this, right? Looking up. Looking up. All right, so first of all, I think the comment from Mike, looking up, is like my favorite comment. And I know it sounds kind of silly, but one of the things I always talk about on my workshops is look behind you, pay attention to things other than what your brain is focused on. And Mike, you've really taken that to heart, not only in your day-to-day photography, but in challenge photography and things that you do. You're constantly thinking, look around, and you're constantly paying attention. I think that's a real mark and tell of a good photographer. So looking up, immediately, bless your soul. Immediately, I see this really cool pattern in the middle of the composition you have here. Dead center. And it's some sort of, it's like you're telling a story. There's a symbol that means something between the trees, the space between the trees. Forget the color and all that. Just that graphic, that visual, looking at it from a distance, you get this really cool, almost like a logo right up the center of the trees.
You know what it reminds me of?
Hang on. I don't know what it reminds you of because I can't hear you. So let's see if I can get this to work and bring you in. Now that's not going to sync up. So anyway, I'll stand near you. Go ahead.
I said, you know what it reminds me of is the flux capacitor in Back to the Future.
The flux capacitor October Rust photo. Now, you know what? That's funny and it's great, but it almost works with the color that he has there too, right? The reds and stuff popping through. So as far as composition goes, phenomenal. I absolutely love what you've done here. Now, guys, remember, for the photo reviews, I don't look at the pictures in advance. I'm getting my first impressions pretty much with everybody else right now. So first off, general impression, visually, awesome shot. I would normally start to cover things and see what can be eliminated, and you can't do that with a photo like this, and I don't think there's any point in doing it. You have the great detailed dead center that's going to catch a viewer's eye. You've got the colors, that rich red tone with the black, almost like fingers drawing you to that center. I think it's a really neat photo. Cool, it looks like the yellow thing we put in 45 records back in the day. It's so true. It's like the little 45 album spacer. Aurora's looking at me like, what, records? What are that? Yeah. A lot of people had them on like a little necklace even, like just a little spacer you'd put in the center of 45 to make it fit in the 33 album. You still don't know what I'm talking about. I love that you're so young. But it's true. That's a great observation, Nancy. Very cool. Great image, Michael. Love the black and red. Yeah, that's such a really cool color palette you've got going on here. Mike has 2, he says. A photo like this, and again, it's getting the conversation going, and I love that. It really helps when you see an image and your brain just looks at it instantly and just like latches onto it. So good job, Mike. I'm gonna shut up about it now because I can gush. Speaking of gushing, what do we have? Oh, nope, that's not where I'm at. I'll go to you. I'll go to you. There we go. Cool. Here's the photo that we have up on the screen behind me as well. And this photo is Teresa, number 2. So Teresa says, I'm sending 2 pictures, both taken with my Samsung S25 Edge, only because that's what I had on me. This challenge had some meaning for me. This time of year can provoke so many feelings. The beauty of the changing colors to the loss of those warm summer days. The loss of the leaves to the beauty that those leaves cover and protect come spring. Nothing really dies because it's already nourished, something else has to grow. Or something else, it's already nourished, something else to grow. Sorry. As with rust, it isn't always a bad thing. Rust is memories. It's seasons of times from days gone past, or it's what nature gives us and then nature will take back if left to its own devices. How esoteric, Bryan says. I think that is beautiful. And first off, both taken with your Samsung phone. Absolutely, it's what you had on you. You used it very well. You're telling stories. It's clear. You've got good composition. The colors pop. I think this is it doesn't matter what the camera was, this is a storyteller's image. And on my computer screen, it's one thing, but looking at it on the TV behind me, it's a different thing altogether. There's a lot more contrast on the screen that I'm looking at in the areas here. Either way I look at it though, it sings, it pops. The orange tones behind, the nice cool tones in front, it gives such a different feeling. You've got this coolness at the bottom, you've got this warmth and richness above, it adds some energy to it. Any thoughts on that, Aurora?
Yeah, it's a great photo. And then she has two in the series. So this is one,
Okay.
so this is the first.
This is the first, and the second
is the second.
The second is this one. Awesome. My mother says, beautiful capture. Pauline, love it. Doug Boyce, beautiful. Love it, Teresa, and a beautiful write-up, Drew Carr says. I agree. Nice stuff. And this, to be honest, as far as a photo for the photo challenge, I think they're both really nice. I think the first one with that half red on top and the cool below, I think it kind of impacts me a little bit more. Although this also has that orange top and the nice cool bottom too. Looking at it a little bit more. They're both great photos. I think I prefer the first one as far as the photo challenge photo goes. But that's a personal preference and really doesn't mean a whole lot, does it? So compositionally, I think the first one helps. I don't know. I think there's just something disconnected on the top on this one comparatively.
The leading line right into the
yes, that's what's doing it.
And then the light, there's more light coming through the trees.
Aurora made a really good point. That tree coming down the center, right to, that's not a rock, is it? That's looks like a pumpkin or something.
Yeah, it looks something, I don't know what it is.
but it's composition. It just anchors that tree, right? And then you have the orange lighter parts on the sides. So I think that's why maybe I connect to it more, but they're both great shots. Very cool stuff. All right, what do we have next? Number 3. So this would be...
Oh, actually, I guess number 4, sorry. We were on number 3.
This would be this one. And this one here is Anne's photo. Puffball. Has something like a header at the top of the picture. Yeah, that's my screen maybe. I think that's what you're talking about. Oops. Now I'm making things weird. Let's try and fix this here. I don't know if I can go full screen. No, if I go slideshow, it's going to cut everything off. So that's the way it'll look. Yeah. Okay. So Mike, thank you. Everybody, I love when people look out for me. If I have something on the screen, I really appreciate when you let me know, because sometimes you don't see everything, right? So appreciate that. Okay. So we're on that photo there. Everybody can see it. Cool. So Anne says, yeah, Anne had 2 photos, right? This is taken with her Z8, her 14 to 30 f4 aperture Z lens, shot at f9 for this photo, I believe, at a low ISO. October Rust. For this challenge, I photographed the historic Cornish-Windsor covered bridge, which is the longest wooden covered bridge in the US, built in 1866. My house was built in 1950 and it's fallen apart. So that's funny that these things could last as long as they have. That's amazing. The 460-foot bridge spans the Connecticut River. I shouldn't say my house is falling apart. My house is awesome. Life. Anyway, the 460-foot bridge spans the Connecticut River, a classic New England wooden covered bridge linking New Hampshire and Vermont. Now, for those of you who don't know, I spent my high school years in Vermont, so I was speaking with Anne when she was in that area, and I was jealous every single time because the air, the people, I absolutely love Vermont, which is even more so why I think it should be a province of Canada. But that's another conversation for another day. At the entrance of the bridge, a timeless warning reminds travelers of its past. Walk your horses or pay $2 fine. There's still a $2 fine for riding a horse across the bridge. Good to know. Weathered boards and rust-streaked roof stand proud in this October Rust Challenge. Added the second image to show you the sign. First image is just for the challenge. Okay, excellent. Beautiful. So as far as the challenge goes, let's see if anybody has a comment first. Love the reflection. Love Vermont and this picture. There's nothing bad about Vermont. Not that I could think of, at least. Yeah, the reflection is gorgeous. Okay, so there's the sign that Aurora has up here. I don't have that up here yet.
Do you want me to go back?
Yeah, that's perfect.
Okay.
No, the other way.
No.
Oh, the TV is lovely and fast, isn't it, folks? There we go. All right. Now, the patterns of the reflection underneath the bridge, that Z pattern, that extra leading line that goes across, is really, really cool. The time of day that you were there and the way that reflection is going is really interesting. You've got that nice weathered feel going. The October rust is just screaming through the photo. Beautiful blue sky with the cloud adds some texture and detail. I find it's a little bit hot in the center. Maybe like a radial. Brian's looking at me, don't touch the photo. Every time I talk about changing something up, I look over and I'm expecting Bryan to tell me no.
No, I would color grade it.
Color grade it?
Knock the white out.
Knock the white out. See, I think that's the only part, is that little overexposure in the clouds just above the center. A third of a stop, I agree with that. Not too much at all. But again, that could be the choices made by Anne to make this photo, right? Like, everybody has that right to choose where you want your emphasis to be. I think the emphasis would be the reflection underneath rather than the bright part of the sky. So that would be my interpretation. But nonetheless, the clarity that you have, the detail, you can see the reflection of the clouds. I like that the part in the front is a little bit darker, much darker on my monitor here than when I turned around and looked at the TV. You almost don't even see all this over here on the monitor. But yeah, beautiful photo. Any thoughts on that, Aurora?
It's an
I would knock the
I don't
bridge
know
out,
if
just the
it's,
white.
Yeah, not the bridge.
yeah.
I like the detail, and I like that you have all that detail still on the roof of the bridge, just below the white part of the clouds. Now, here's the thing, though. It could have been a much more overexposed original photo, right? This could have been saved already, so it's hard to say how much play there would be in the file. But nonetheless, it's all just thoughts.
I think it looks like she's added some like saturation in the warm tones.
Saturated in the warm tone. Well, I mean, I kind of like that part of it.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
It hasn't affected the blue sky, is what I was gonna say. Because normally when you add more like warmth to a photo, it can make the blue look less vibrant.
That's true.
But
Reflection in the leading lines. Thank you, everyone who noted on the one stop on exposure. You're welcome. And I love how Anne is so receptive to ideas and so on. I think that's the whole point of our show, though, is that we're not going to say something that's like bad photo or anything like that. It's not about that. Are you enjoying yourself? And is there something that can be done to help you enjoy it a little bit more, right? For those of you at home who want to see the first photo, this is walk your horses or pay the $2 fine. Again, really cool photo. The fact that you can see all the way through and see out the other side there, exposure that you've chosen is really great for a single image. I think this would be kind of cool to see like an HDR in there too. Like to be able to see all the wood going throughout the entire bridge, but that's a long bridge, so that'd be a hard image to create. But yeah, great. Thanks for sharing that.
Can I say no light, no image, no story? There's no light in there, so you forget it. Can't see it.
So Brian says no light, no image, no story. Because there's no light inside the tunnel, you're not really seeing the depth, length, and the story being told by it. You just see the little bit of light at the very back end, right? But I think the fact that Anne submitted this one as just a reference photo to support the first photo, I think, yeah.
I think that's beautiful.
And did you walk your horse or pay the fine? Doug wants to know. All right, what's the next photo we have there, Aurora?
number 6, Doug's.
Okay. So here is Doug's photo. Speaking of Doug. Hello, Brian. Attached is my photo for the subject photo challenge. Photo is the handle of an abandoned church in Burk's Falls. I love Burk's Falls. Burk's Falls is like my place. I love it up there. My wife's grandmother lived there for years, and that's just around the corner from where we go to our cottage. On October 26th, the rusted handle and textures of color add to the story of a once thriving church in a small northern town. Looking forward to seeing the others and hearing a critique of my photo. Man, this really shows the age, the patina that you get on that. I think it's really neat, the composition that you chose as well. The handle is pretty centered, but having the 3 panels supports it so well. A lot of times you're going to hear people say, you know, center is deadly or whatever. I think that's exactly where it needed to be in this photo. And the fact that you have on the right side that separate panel where you have all the breaking up texture and you can see the whites really clearly, that gives that right side, that rule of thirds support in the composition. The vignette that you have, little dark edges versus the brighter center, is going to draw your viewer's eye to the handle, really help that stand out. And again, if I turn around and look on the TV, there's so much more detail in these parts that I can see on my monitor. That's the funny thing about reviewing people, and that's why I also don't really want to get too much into is it oversaturated or undersaturated sometimes, because it's hard to tell on our monitors. If you walk into a Best Buy, there's 20 TVs, they all look a little different, right? So we have to be aware of that as we're giving a review. But nonetheless, the age pops through this shot, the texture, the detail, the clarity is all there. You're telling stories, and it certainly matches the October Rust theme. So I love this. Great job, Doug. Excellent work.
Does he have a shot of the church itself?
Do you have a photo of the full church itself? Brian would like to know. I'd like to know what church it is, actually, because I go up there. I know that there's around the corner from there, on the back road that we go to, there's like a really, really old little church that Shelly and I go to. There's always turkeys on that road, but I don't think this is the same place. Anne says, I love this, Doug. I love doors and your capture of the rust, and reds are fabulous. Love the peeling paint. I agree. Love the patina on the handle, Mr. Drukar says. Anne says, yes, I did in my heart. Did she pay the horse Did she ride her horse across? I love it. You guys are great. Loving this stuff. Do we have another shot? Or, yeah. Oh, we do have one more photo. And it happens to be from the fella sitting right in front of me. Bryan, here's your photo. Now, the only thing is, Bryan didn't say anything about this photo. He says, here, photo. Deal with it. I love that. All right, let's see here. Doug says, thanks. Steve says, haha. Okay, cool. So let's have a turn and look at this. October rust. Again, screaming October rust. The reds, the tones.
We wrote in the morning with the photo club
Oh, this is a photo club photo.
walking, and I saw that, and the sun was smashing against the leaves.
Sun,
Large, you can see the leaves, right?
sun's like coming from here.
On the red. And then there's the tunnel underneath it, almost a rectangular tunnel, inviting you into the rest of it.
Oh yeah, you can really see that detail in the leaves when I zoom in here.
Good old R8 and 35.
R8 and 35. Oop. Now I can't make it smaller again. Gotta love when things work one way but not the other.
And it was all
There we
hanging
go.
off one side of the tree.
It's still zoomed in. There we go. Got it back. Perfect. Yeah, the horizon level and the angle of the tree is making me feel like it's a little lopsided.
It was a hill.
It was a hill. It was a hill. Were you standing on a lean on the hill? Or were you looking at it straight on?
The hill goes down. Look at the back. The hill goes down.
The tree is kind of going with the hill. So it makes me think that the tree had to be kind of... Bryan's looking at me, shut up. Just shut up. You know what? That's the thing. I feel like, personally looking at it, I feel like I have to be on a bit of a lean to appreciate it. And I'm looking at Aurora right now. Her head was on a lean to look at it. So I think that's going to be a takeaway on this shot, is that you're going to feel like you're feeling that feeling of the lean from the image, right? The color is popping like crazy. I love the sun coming and hitting the side of the tree. You can see it hitting every little branch all the way up. So I can totally feel that popping through. On my screen here, I don't see any of this detail. It's very, very dark. So that's something I like, that I look behind here. You can see how deep it goes and the sun hitting all the different places in behind. Yeah, but I still feel like I'm on a lean.
On that tree, but the tree, that one, no, the one you just touched on the right side, yeah, that's straight.
Anything to add, Aurora?
Yeah, I feel like, I mean, it's up to interpretation, but
Always.
when you look at a photo, usually the closest thing to you is your subject, right? So when you look at the tree and it's slightly,
That's
Well,
kind of your
that's-
story.
yeah.
Okay, let me put it to you this way.
Okay.
A thin stalk, a massive amount of tree pulling it over.
So you're,
Yeah.
oh, I love the weight of the trees and everything is like leaning, giving emphasis and giving some,
Backyard full of trees like that. Even.
all right, I get that.
That's, the weight of it is pulling it over.
Anne says, beautiful colors and the red and blue sky, windswept tree. That's very much what you're saying. You know, the whole thing is kind of windswept and leaned.
You know why it's red?
Do I know why it's red?
Why it's red?
Did you pump up saturation or?
It, fast protons in color is blue.
Okay,
Slow protons in color is red.
slow protons.
That's why you see color. It absorbs every other color except red.
Is that like
That's physics.
physics? Okay, I like physics. I'm all for physics.
So you can. We used to add color filters. Now we don't, because we can now shift things. But the dark blue is because the red is hard red. So the blue and the color is dark.
Okay. I can't explain that to them very well. So I gotta okay, come here, Bryan, because we're running out of time. So
Okay.
go ahead.
The red is slower proton, so it's red. This is talking about white light. And the fast ones are blue. So the blue is dark because the red is red, hard red. So that's why they're different colors.
You're telling the original physics of color.
Original physical
All right, well,
that's why that exists.
Okay. Well, that makes sense. It also exists because of photosynthesis and because of, all these other things, because of color shift and temperature change and sap moving. But I don't know these things very well, so I'm just going to move on. There was a comment from Doug. He says he would take out green leaves around the edge. Are we talking about at the bottom?
Oh no, in the corner.
In the corner?
Yeah,
Like here?
The top corner.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Drop it in a little bit, yeah.
And that's the beauty of photography.
I'm a documentary shooter.
You're shooting documentary style.
Yeah.
And
I was taught no in-camera cropping.
Yeah.
I don't crop in camera.
Okay.
If there's a piece of shit on the road, I shoot the shit.
You leave. I can't repeat that, Bryan. So we're going to move on. All right, guys, that was awesome. That's the last photo, but we have a new photo challenge for you. I want to thank everybody who's made comments. I want to thank everybody who submitted photos. Bryan, thank you as well. And I want to just remind everybody that we are talking about a whole new challenge. This is going to be the first challenge on the new YouTube Henry's channel. So I can't wait to see what people make for this. And I'm going to throw y'all a lob ball right here. Now, we know our photo challenges are usually done by album names and things like that. So this one, I'm sticking to all Canadian and going, Hold Your Fire. It's a Rush album, one of my favorites. Aurora, yes.
I just thought of something.
You
this
thought
is
of?
so exciting because we're going to be having our painting with light thing during November.
Oh, that's right. We're doing a painting with light workshop. I'm doing this workshop here in store actually this Saturday. I'm doing a basic inside light painting workshop. And then on next Sunday, we're doing an outdoor workshop, which will include burning steel wool, which is fire. And so yeah, hold your fire. That's actually perfect. Sparklers and all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
I might even light somebody on fire. You never know. All right, that's I can't wait to see what you guys make for Hold Your Fire, and it'll be fun. So I'm going to remind everybody that it's almost coming up to the holidays. We're having an early Black Friday deal program here. They've all begun on a selection of accessories, bags, tripods, and audio, and all kinds of different things. Printers? Not yet. But I'm going to share my screen here and show you guys a few more. Well, I'm still sharing my screen, so here we go. There is a huge Sony Alpha cashback offer currently. What that means is you get cash back from Sony. So if you're curious about what this means, this is the Sony website directly, how you redeem everything for your cash back. It's on many, many eligible products, lenses, cameras, and so on. And of course, if you go to the Henry's website, it has all kinds of products that cash back is honored on. So you can check that all out, henrys.com. Right there, lots of great deals. $100 off here, $100 off there. That's $200 off. There's $200, $200, $200. There's $600 off on a lens or 3 camera bodies, however you want to take it. All right. Early Black Friday deals, as I mentioned. Here's a whole bunch of different things, again, on henrys.com. The Black Friday, it's like a huge header right at the top of the website when you go to it. And all of these products, Manfrotto bags, all kinds of different accessories, tripods, as I mentioned earlier, all on sale. Great deals. Check it all out. It's good stuff. Great show. Thanks, Bryan. Thank you, Steve. Steve, you have to say that. You work here. Just want to tell everybody that Beat the Rush on holiday photo finishing is on. In other words, if you wait too long, you're not going to get your photo finishing done by Christmas, and therefore we have sales on for you at the Henry's Photo Center online now. Check that out. And that's about it, unless, Aurora, there was something else you wanted me to mention? No. See you all next week on the Henry's YouTube channel from the Weekly BrYangle Report. Take care, everybody.